In today's video, I'm going to show you all the things that I bought from the Festival of Fabric. Hi everyone, I'm Hales and welcome to my channel. You will hear, because I'm very nasally today, that I have still got a cold lingering on. In my previous video of my little black dress, I was a bit riddled with germs and feeling really rough. I'm feeling a bit better now, but it does sound a bit like I'm talking through my nose, so just bear with me. I'm back from the Festival of Fabric in Felixstowe and I just wanted to film all the things that I bought so I can remember all the prices, because a lot of the tags have been taken off when I bought them by the sellers, I guess, so they can keep track of what they've sold and that kind of thing. So while it's still fresh in my mind, I thought I'd film this, and also a lot of the fabrics and things that I bought need to be put through the washing machine and washed, so I thought I'd just get on and show you. Before I get onto the fabric, I will show you some haberdashery bits. So, now I don't know who, oh hang on, paper bag, let's get that rustle out of the way. I don't really need buttons. I don't often sew things with buttons, but I bought buttons. So I'm gonna try and get these up. So I've got 6 of these are vintage buttons. So, oh hang on, right. A lot of these, I'm dropping them all right, let me hold up one. I'm dropping them all over the table because it's on the wonk. So I'll show one. I'll block my face out so it focuses there. So I bought six of these sort of greeny blue buttons. They're vintage buttons. They're 25p each. I also bought these from the same seller, silvery, like a bit of a pearl, 25p each of those. On a separate stand, I thought that was okay. Well, it said 25p on a card and I thought, wow, 25p for all those buttons. Then I realised it was 25p for each button. But this seller was actually selling buttons by the card. So I got this whole card of buttons for £4, and they're really big. If I put my fingers next to them, you can then see the size of them, and they look brown on camera, but they're actually like a bit of a greeny brown. And I thought, if I make a coat, they are ideal coat buttons. And I thought that if I was to buy big buttons like that in the shop, they're probably easily 75p for one button. So I thought that was a bargain, and while they were buttons, I thought I would get some, especially as they're all matching. Sometimes you can buy like mixed bags on like eBay and things, but I just didn't. My vintage machine, my Singer 201, I've been having problems trying to wind the bobbin. The machine came with 3 bobbin cases, a plastic one and 2 metal ones, and the metal ones are different from each other, and one will start winding and just fly off, and the other one doesn't fully stay on. So I went to a stand who was selling machines like mine, and oh, they had some hand crank Singers, and the guy on the stand, he actually services and looks after machines as well, and they were like polishing, they were gleaming, and they had a hand crank Singer and it looked perfect, and it was only £30. And they had electric machines, like no more than £60. I think they had a 201, which I did see a lady go and buy, and that was probably a bit less than what I paid for mine. Mine included postage, but I think mine was £70 delivered through eBay with postage, but this one was £60 for the machine, and you'd know that it'd be looked after. However, the man on the stall, I will get to showing you what I bought him at, the man on the stall said that if I take my machine to him in Felixstowe, he could do like a mini service on it and it would only be £10. So I think that's where I'm headed. But they had some bobbins, and these are the ones. So they took them out of the box for one of the machines they had, and so I picked up 5 of those, and she said it's £1 each. So £5 for 5 vintage bobbins, which I know because they've told me that they will fit that machine. I haven't tried them out yet. Hopefully they will, and I thought that was a good deal. And incidentally, the name of their shop is actually called Bodget and Leggett, which, you know, it sounds like, that doesn't sound like a good shop, but I think it's more like a funny shop. And from that shop, actually, I will quickly show you, because I will stick a couple of photos in. I tried to take pictures without having loads of people in, because obviously I haven't got their permissions to be sticking them on the videos and things. Excuse me. So there was one stand, they were selling the machines. They had the Lunar Lapin, the sort of felt bunnies that you can sew by hand. They had some of those books, which are brand new, and felt to make those, but in between all that they had like some vintage fabrics and lots of things, and one thing they did have was some silk. Now I'm just launching and just get it. Now they had some rolls of silk panels, so each panel has a line down it so you know where to cut, and so it's not necessarily cut by the metre, it's cut by each panel. So these are genuine silk, and it was £3 for a silk panel, and I just couldn't believe it. So I thought when it comes to like work colleagues' birthdays, I never know what to get, and I thought, well, if I can get a silk panel and I get my rolled hem foot out and do like a narrow rolled hem all the way around it, I can just give it to them in a nice little bag as a scarf, and it's only £3 and it's a silk scarf, so I thought it was great. And what was even better, when he went to cut it, it was already like half cut, so I got extra. Is this the one? There was a bit taken out of it. I'm trying to find if this is the one or not. One of them, yeah, this one here. So this piece, I had already had a piece cut out of it, so he said, well, I won't charge you for that. So this part here is for free, and then I got this panel. I'll see if I can, it's a lovely blue colour. So he said, oh, that'll make a lovely like silk top or something. So I have 1.5 panels of that. So that's only £3 for that. Oops, it's gone on the floor. Another silk panel is this one. I got, I bought 2 of this. Lovely drape, lovely feel to it. And then one, I have a colleague with red hair and she likes these kind of colourings. And again, I think this one was the same. This had a half length already on it. And so I got that, and then I got the actual panels. So I've got quite a wide bit, but obviously it has that stripe down the middle where you cut it. It's just the red version of the other one. So yeah, all that for £3. And I said to the guy, like, how can you get silk, you know, how come the silk is so cheap? Because I was like, is it really silk? And he said that they bought it from a police auction, which I guess is like seized goods and customs, or I don't know, that kind of thing, that somehow the police have got hold of it, so they're taking it off someone for unlawfully having it, and then I guess it just stays there and they don't know what to do with it, so then they auction it off. So the guy said he was then passing the costs on to the customer. So I thought that was really good, because some people would just charge you at normal price and just make a big profit. So because he was like that and they sold me the bobbins, I trust him if I take my own machine. I've just stopped to get a glass of water for my throat completely seizes up. Now, one thing I bought, I've been Googling and I've been on Instagram actually, went down one of those Instagram rabbit holes and I was looking at autumn wreaths, and especially felt autumn wreaths. If you have a look, there are some gorgeous ones there. So I was thinking, that's something that I could make. They're not a big thing in the UK, certainly not where I live anyway. I've never seen anyone with a wreath, like an autumn wreath on their door outside, never. Sometimes you see the Christmas wreaths, or sometimes you might see like a wicker heart or something, but that will be plain. So this one, if I get it made on time before winter comes in, this will be for inside, not for outside. But I've been looking at like wreaths and what kind of thing, and there was a random stall there selling like fake flowers and really odd things, but they had these 3 wreaths. So you could, and I'm not sure whether to do it, have that as a double one and then just have that on its own, or just do them, I think they do, it does look quite nice, like doubled up. I don't think I would do the 3, but a 2 and a 1, or maybe keep it for Christmas or something like that. So I'm just toying with ideas, but I got all those 3 for £5, and to go with it I got a few little odds and ends. So this here is a brown, it's almost like aubergine, like purpley brown. I don't know if it will show up on camera. It's velvet, and it is 12 inches by 54 inches, and it was £2. I haven't actually taken it off, but I thought, can I make some kind of like fabric flowers or I don't know, something to go on this wreath. And alongside that, from the same store that I got the wreaths, I just picked up 2 squares of fabric, of felt fabric should I say, and 50p for both of those. From another store I got this, I'm not sure if it's silk, or it certainly feels silky. If I go back, it's just a remnant here, so you can't really make anything of such. But I thought if there's a way of like folding it and ruffling it, stitching a button onto the middle to make it look like a flower, that could go like quite nicely on the wreath. And then the other thing to go was a piece of, I don't know what it is, like a linen, canvas linen type fabric. Don't know the size. This is a remnant, and there's no price on this, but I'm sure it was either £1 or £2 for this one here. And I wondered I could maybe like wrap some round or make some little fabric sort of bows to tie round. So that is my thinking with that one. I have to cut every time I go for a sip of water or cough. I'll have to edit and cut these bits out. While I was at the Festival of Fabric, which was in a hotel at the seafront, my husband came, took a whiz round the room with the kids. They had cake and drink. Then he was going to head off to the seafront, take the kids for an ice cream, take them to the amusements. So I offloaded some fabric onto him to put in the car, and then I carried on my merry way for a few more hours. When he was gone, he bought me one of these. It's the beeswax food wrap. Now, I don't know if anyone has made any of these themselves. I haven't. I thought I would try, well, he thought it would be a good idea for me to try one out because everyone's trying to save plastic waste, try not to generate too much plastic waste. And this is recyclable packaging. There's only one food wrap in here, but I thought I'd try it. And then, I don't know, maybe try and make one? Does anyone make them? I've heard that they're quite messy when they're drying. He also bought me this, do not feed the seagulls, because last year when we were on the beach, a seagull came down and swooped my tuna roll out of my hands, and we've always had a bit of an in-joke, so he got that. But now on to the fabrics, I'll just go and get them. First up is this jersey, and it's quite a thick jersey. I would say cardigan, jumper weight, definitely. It's tubular. Incidentally, it also looks like it's been dropped in a muddy puddle because it is filthy at the bottom. But when I sort of like rubbed my fingers on it, it was coming off. It was just like dried mud or something for some reason. Now, I think it's either like 2.6 or there's 3 meters of this. So this is, so it's like the tubular, so obviously you've got both sides there. And this, so I have, keep going. I'm pretty sure there's about 3 meters of this, and because it's quite thick as well, I couldn't resist. £6. That's all it cost for that. So some kind of jumper or cardigan, I thought I just couldn't miss that opportunity for that. This one is actually the last thing I bought before I left, and this one has got the tag on it. So it's vintage soft feel paisley fabric, 2.6 meters wide. It's quite narrow, so it's 35 inches. Very narrow, but because there's a lot of it, you could then I just thought that would make a nice dress. But obviously it's quite, that's gonna be like the top to cut on the fold. Should be big enough. It's not, it's quite narrow. It's actually narrower than I sort of realised. I paid £12 for that, but you know, there's over, isn't you know, 2.6 meters. I thought that wasn't bad, so I'm sure I can piece together some bits to make that into a dress. Right, now we have some remnants. So there was a place called the Felixstowe Sewing School. I've never been there, but they were the main organisers of this event. They had a bucket with offcuts and things in, and everything in the bucket was £3. Incidentally, there were a few stalls there which had brand new jersey, like novelty print jersey, on the bolt at full price per metre. And most of the fabrics and the things there were vintage. It was like a sort of a vintage feel to the place. And they had like sort of children's jersey knit. I didn't see anyone buying from them. And I didn't see, there wasn't like they were offering a discount for people who went to the show. I was there for the bargains, and I bought this. And this is tubular, but there's no stretch to it because it's a fleece back. I guess it's classed as jersey. So it's fleece backed. Again, tubular. But because it's fleece, there's not really any stretch to it. So I'm not sure what to make with it. But look how much there is. There is. So if I say, that's probably like 1 metre. I would say there's easily 2.5 metres there for £3. But I'm not sure what to make with it. So if you know what this kind of fabric is good for, put me a comment down below in the comments box. This, I'm thinking some kind of like jumpery long top for my daughter because she doesn't seem to have anything that fits her. This again, oh, this one has, see, this has had like a chunk taken out of it. But if you ignore that bit, there's still well over 1 metre, and that is tubular as well. There is a good amount of stretch to that one, and that one was £3. And this one's got a chunk. So this one's got the chunk taken out as well. Slightly less on this, but I would say 1 metre if I ignore the bit which has the chunk taken out, which is plenty enough for my daughter. It's like an emerald green, I think, because I've got my light on, the studio light on it, it's hard to see. So it's like a ribbed, like it's a jumper weight rather than a t-shirt weight. But again, £3. I thought that was great. I thought that the festival was really good. I went to a lecture on the sewing machine maintenance, like basic sewing machine maintenance, and realised, and I wasn't the only one, that there was a certain part where because I'm not top loading bobbin on my digital machine, that when you take the needle plate off and take the bobbin out, you can actually get that black plastic bit actually comes out, and the bit on the thread catcher, and then you can get all your fluff out. So that is what I'm off to do this afternoon, if I can be bothered. If not, that'll be a job for tomorrow, to have a go and actually take it apart. But he gave some really good tips on cleaning with a bit of material down in between like your tension discs. So he said they're like 2 sources like that. So if your tension is loose, then they're further apart. But he said just get a clean bit of fabric and rub it through, and that will get rid of any dirt and any fluff, and sometimes that can help if you've had a bit of a problem. And just like where to clean, where to maybe put a tiny bit of oil, just like basic housekeeping, but things that I haven't ever done. So I'm looking forward to doing that and just taking care of my machines more. I think I'm gonna get my vintage machine, go and get that looked over, but also I'm keen to know if those bobbins work on the machine as well, get those full so I can start using it a bit more. My voice is going, so I'm going to leave you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in my next video.